Hi, Elijah here. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out our top tier patrons. Thank you to Nikki, Sean, Mace, Alan, Penny, Claire, Kit, and the Jexberry Guy. If you would like a shout out and access to our bonus content, you can find us on patreon.com/dandiesendanger. For a one-time shout out, you can also support us on ko-fi.com/dandiesendanger. As always, the best way you can help us grow is to tell your friends, subscribe, leave a review, or leave a positive rating. Thank you all so much for listening. And now, on with the show.
Previously on Dandies in Danger.
Adrian, you feel horribly ill, and whenever you open your eyes, everything looks green. Zachary is now being stared down by a, frankly, enormous boar demon.
What do you have for me?
Answers. I can tell you exactly what's happening.
Let us speak then, and I shall agree to free you.
Lord Bush is a huntsman. The deal was he would turn over his soul to me at the allotted time, and in exchange, I gave him the boon of healing. And he found he could use the blood as a substitute for his own intent. Everything that he's done since making the bargain with me has been to escape the bargain he made. What Bush realized was that a soul trapped in limbo created an immense energy.
Do you know anything that has happened to the patrons of this establishment?
They're drowned, but whenever their soul is ready to depart, it is trapped in the cursed object nearby.
So the best way to stop Lord Bush right now is to find this root, disconnect everybody from it, and of course free you in the process.
As a gesture of good faith,
And she lifts a hoof that is dripping with blood and reaches it towards you. Heal yourself up back to full. Back in the honey room, Daniel, you wake up. And then you hear, from the hall, the voice of Miss Eleanor Audley. You hear the rapid clicking of dogs' nails
I'm
on
gonna
the
tackle
ground.
her again.
He has one move.
She gets bowled over.
Fuck. So he runs out and he just starts shouting to say, "Over here, come get me."
A shape emerges from the shadows.
Oh!
And Liam is immediately standing in front of you. How did I get up?
There's a dog!
And Liam screams.
Fuck.
Hi there, my name is Elijah, my pronouns are he, him, and I play the voice of Zachary Wilkos.
Hi, I'm Cass. My pronouns are she, her, and I voice Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, he, she, they, and I voice Daniel Pritchard.
Hi, I'm Toast, pronoun she, they, and I play Adrian Edwards.
Zachary.
Huh? Sorry.
I gotcha! Zachary, the path of egress is clear to you. You emerge from the shadowed wardrobe, returning to the room of candles and runes. You've made a deal with a demon. You have no idea where Liam could be. What is your course of action?
He looks around at the candles. He wonders if this is some sort of binding spell with them. There are a lot of salt circles and things that act like this, like as long as the circle remains undisturbed, the creature stays in. So he does attempt to extinguish one by just blowing it out, just a quick breath.
It extinguishes very quickly, and you think that you've solved it, and then a few seconds later, it reignites.
He nods. That makes sense. If there was like a draft, she would get out, so he thinks about removing one of the candles.
Like, pick it up?
Yeah.
You lift up the candle without any issue whatsoever, and a small little bit of shadow is now able to reach the closet, but you would have to move more candles if you wanted to break the circle.
All right.
I assume you're just like breaking off the stock of wax.
Yeah, but he's like, shit, I don't have anywhere to put these. He's like, I'll probably worry about that later, and then he continues to sort of break a few off that make a trail to any of the shadows.
As you continue to snap off these candles and move them away, you're removing them from the runes that were inscribed, dug into this hardwood floor, the Lux Intus Lux Foris. And so, as you are continuing to strengthen this shadow pathway, essentially, leading to the closet, the floorboards underneath your feet begin to rattle stronger and stronger until you remove the last candle, and all is silent.
He waits. Maybe tries to blow out the candles in his hand again.
Now that they've been removed from the runes, you can easily blow them out.
He breathes easier. That was a fire hazard. And he goes over to the wardrobe and gives it a small knock. Hello?
You don't hear anything.
He opens it.
There's nothing on the inside. It just looks like the plain inside of a wardrobe, no clothing in there whatsoever, bare wooden back. Although you do see a few scratches on the inside.
Can he make them out at all?
How often has Zachary been out in nature? Probably not a lot, right?
No, not a lot, yeah.
The wood has just been scraped. It's deeper and wider than fingernail scratching, but that's all that you can tell. Aside from that scratching on the inside, there's nothing in there.
Okay. He kind of assumes that he let the boar out.
The room begins to cool off, and the acrid smell begins to dissipate just a little bit. It's still a closed room, so it stays stanky for a little bit.
Right.
There's not a lot of ventilation in here, no windows and whatnot. But as the heat begins to acclimate to the rest of the house, I think that you can pretty much satisfy yourself that you have completed what she wanted.
This kind of gives him a little bit of a chuffed feeling on the inside, and he smirks, and he thinks how that's definitely going to distract Lord Bush from the other goings-on in the house if he also has to deal with her. So probably having as much chaos as possible and him being unable to control it could be to their benefit if it means getting other people out safely while he's dealing with whatever's coming towards him. He also feels a kind of deeper chuffed inclining, just like having released something, a demon. He's not really sure what that's about, so he kind of stuffs it down. Well, it's kind of like mischievous, so he's like, oh, this is such a bad thing. And like, he's getting a little schadenfreude. And he's like, all right, that's enough of that. I gotta find Liam. And he turns around and goes to the door.
Go ahead and roll add your wisdom.
Okay. It's 14, because my wisdom went down to 4 because he's EP.
Okay. With the 14, you can hear the tone of voice that sounds like Miss Audley coming from downstairs. But that is, you can't really hear what she's saying, you can just hear her tone of voice. So that's where we're jumping in to the moment in the previous episode whenever she heard the sounds coming from the honey room and came out into the hallway to investigate.
All right, so he's very careful as he opens the door and listens harder.
Okay, give me another roll, add wisdom.
It's a 1.
A nat 1.
A nat 1.
You don't hear anything.
That's great. Then there must be nothing there.
And then a dog comes out and rips your throat out.
Okay, Zach thinks he's alone and he's a little bit distracted by the sort of, oh, I'm so... I really fucked over Lord Bush there, that he opens the door all the way and just steps out into the hallway and looks around.
You see nothing, and you also hear nothing on this level.
He did hear Audley's voice, though, and if she's in the hall, that's not good, so he starts making his way downstairs. Like, oh, I don't want somebody to get mauled by one of these things.
So, as you are going to the echoing stairwell, where previously you had dispelled the sort of mirroring spell that was stopping everyone from progressing, Liam had thrown down his feather there. So you're moving towards that staircase when an impact knocks you off the feet, knocks the wind out of you, and I'm gonna roll.
Oh, man.
18 will hit.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know
I
don't know why I'm pretending like we all don't have really pitiful defense. Okay. So that, with the 18, that is going to be in the high damage bracket. Please take 6 damage as you feel teeth sink into your arm. It's going to be on your forearm, closer to your wrist.
But I've only got 2 arms. Sorry. I'm done.
It is close to that point, Zachary, where you also hear Liam on the first floor giving his own yell of agony. Now, as we go down to the first floor, I'm going to make a few more rolls.
Oh, and Liam's at full fright.
Mm-hmm.
We're all at full fright.
We're all at full fright.
Except for Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel, by being unconscious because of his fainting, has gone down to half fright.
Okay,
let me adjust that.
So he doesn't have to roll anything weird while fighting, but the rest of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Flack.
So the scene of chaos here on the first floor is as follows. Liam has been bitten. It's very dark, so we don't know exactly where. He's standing in front of Adrian, who had been attempting to distract this dog from where it had tackled Miss Audley. Miss Audley is currently prone on the floor from the dog having fully knocked her over and all of her bones. And so, at this very moment also, Daniel and Dorothea are still in the honey room. I imagine the door is open because Adrian would not have closed it on his way out. So you can perfectly well hear whenever Liam cries out in pain. Simultaneously, Mr. Keene opens his door and light floods into the hallway. What I would like is for all of us to roll our d20s for initiative.
I'm a 3.
Oh, okay. 19.
10.
All right, top of the order. You don't see anything, Adrian, except that Liam is in front of you and he has his arms on your shoulder and he sort of braces and his legs buckle a little bit as he screams. You see that his body jerks in a sudden way as if he's being pulled back, but he actually braces himself and manages to stay upright.
Okay. Can I say Adrian would be clinging to him?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, now it is your turn.
Okay. Adrian's running on adrenaline. His first instinct is to try to grapple this invisible dog.
Okay, remind me again, you are affected by fright, so what does that mean for Adrian?
Right. I need to roll a d6 to determine how many turns I will be rolling with disadvantage.
All right.
Ruh-roh.
What's your fatal flaw?
My fatal flaw is anxious apathy. If he's too frightened, he freezes up. Other times, he just bowls into anything that's threatening him.
It tackles dad-shaped men.
4 turns.
Okay.
But after that, I'll be no more frightened.
You will have to make 3 rolls and take the lowest of all 3 because you cannot see this dog.
Multiple disadvantage.
Here's what I will say. If you want to use your turn to try to listen for the nails on the wood, you can use that turn to pass that on as advantage, which might cancel out somebody else's disadvantage. You can pass that along to somebody else. Narratively, what that means is that instead of using your turn to attack, you use your turn to listen really hard, and then next time somebody else comes up, you say, "It's over there," and you point to kind of counteract this. But
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's fine. You do whatever you want. I just wanted to let you know this option was available.
You gonna roll high 3 times?
Yeah, maybe. But, Adrian knows it's attached to Liam in some way, so he's gonna try to...
He assumes.
That's why I'm rolling 3 times. Okay. 2 of them were the same.
Well,
So fingers crossed. A 10.
With your moderate success, here's how this is gonna fly. You can hear that the dog had actually moved away from Liam. That was Liam withstanding being dragged down to the ground. And so you can hear that it's merely a foot away, trying to back up. Go ahead and roll me 1d4 plus your attack.
Okay. 4 total.
Excellent. It actually freaks you out a little bit because you managed to latch onto some part of this dog in the darkness. You grab onto it and you start holding on. You feel a seam rip and you feel this sort of threads pulling, flesh tearing sort of sensation.
Taxidermy dog.
You are now on your knees on the ground. That is your moderate success, is that you are now on your knees and maybe rapidly being dragged somewhere.
I do have a plan for my next move, so everybody trust me.
you got it.
Absolutely.
Could not be more confident.
Liam,
No, wait, I meant to be taken to a second location.
Liam is horrified, meanwhile, that you've done this. And now we're jumping back up to the second floor. Zachary, you just received damage. What I would like for us to do is to make 2 contesting d20 rolls, please.
Got it. 20. Natural.
Oh, nat 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. You have the sense to prise apart the jaws of this dog before you pull your arm out of its grasp so it does no further damage as you free yourself. And the dog is unsuccessful in trying to drag you towards the stairs.
Nice.
You technically have movement if you would like to use it.
So I wasn't in the stairway, I was in the hallway about to go into the stairway.
Yes.
Okay. And it was trying to drag me towards the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
He still needs to get downstairs anyway, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if he has movement, he is going to run to the stairway anyway and shut the door behind him.
Okay.
Well, depending on where it kind of is.
You have no idea where it is. There,
Right.
I will tell you there's a possibility based on where you've just released yourself that you will just be running right past this dog again and giving it an opportunity to bite you again.
Okay.
In an attack of opportunity sort of style.
Shit.
I mean, you could.
Oh, he just sinks into the shadows.
Yeah.
La la la.
Yeah, well done. You're in the shadows now, baby.
Oh, baby.
You technically still have movement. Would you like to go somewhere?
He's gonna go down to the first floor, inside the room where Daniel and Adrian and all of them were previously.
Fantastic. Okay. Whenever you pop up, Daniel, tell me where you are right now.
He's on the bed, and then I think when he hears the commotion, he says to Dorothea, "Get your cane!" And then he jumps out of the bed, and then he still has his rings on that he has imprinted with different things. So then he focuses on the ring that has shield in it, and he says, "Tutela!" And now he has plus 30 to his armor class, and is trying to make his way to the door.
Quick question, is Zachary bleeding?
Yes, bleeding, I will say, they're puncture wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be like a really profuse bleeding that we're going to mark in terms of you taking additional damage per round. But for flavor, yeah.
Okay. He pops up in the room, and he's holding his arm and kind of shuddering. Daniel and Dorothy are probably by the door now?
Yeah, and we see you because you just popped out and immediately see that you're holding a bleeding arm. What happened?
Dog. Where's Liam?
Dog? He says dog, but is piecing it together in his mind. The only dogs we know about is the taxidermy dogs. They probably are come back to life, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And Daniel, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say it is your turn right now.
Okay, well, I rushed to the door and I cast a spell.
Yep, I think that covers it.
And then my bonus action was to talk to these two, so
Hell yeah.
I'm at the door right now, but still inside the room.
It's Liam's turn now, and he calls out to Adrian. Adrian, what the hell are you doing?
I've got it.
Liam reaches one hand, palm down, and he says, "From the depths of slumber, my blade, hear your master's call. Awaken." And he activates his summon weapon and draws the sword from its ring on his hand, and he brandishes it, glowing, and aims it towards where Adrian is scuffling along on the ground.
I've got a leg, maybe.
Adrian, back up!
No.
All right. And that's Liam's turn. Now it is Dorothea's turn. Dorothea is going to also move towards the entrance, following close by Daniel, and she has her cane brandished. As she walks forward, she actually hesitates on this turn because she can see Mr. Keen across the foyer here, and I'm going to do another roll for her. With a nat 20, she sees something absolutely horrifying, and she points towards the floor. "Daniel, look!" And Daniel, you can see that in the light of Mr. Keen's room flooding out into the hallway, there are bloody footsteps leading from the grand staircase off in the direction of Mr. Keen's room and around the corner.
What?
Human footsteps?
Yes,
They don't enter Keen's room, they just go past it.
they go past it, exactly.
Okay.
Going off towards the eastern leg of the first floor. Mr. Keen also sees this as she's pointing it out, but she has got her walking stick brandished, and she's doing what we will essentially say is a held action if she should happen to be attacked. Zach, it's your turn.
Zach looks around the room and sees that there is broken glass on the floor. He whips his cravat off in like the coolest. Okay, he takes his cravat off and he finds a sturdy shard and he wraps the cravat around it, and now he has his own weapon.
I like boys taking their clothes off.
Zach, give me a d20 roll so that we can determine how effective your little glass blade is going to be.
Oh, make it big.
I'm nervous. It's a 10.
All right, so there were no large shards of glass here. So what I will say is that there's no proficiency with this weapon, but whenever you do deal damage with it, you can add 1d4.
Thank you.
And that'll be plus your attack. Okay, now it is Mr. Keen's turn. Mr. Keen has to use his full turn to run across this north end of the house to get from his doorway over close to the honey room, because that's a little bit more than 60 feet away.
Is the dog gonna get him?
The dog is not over there. The dog is in
The dog's chewing on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got the dog.
You know exactly where
You've got that dog
is.
on you.
You know exactly where the dog is.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, we're...
If you try to leap from my grasp.
Thank you for double checking. But the dog is closer to... It's sort of like in between Miss Audley's room and the honey room. Mr. Keen does make sure to leap over these bloody footprints as he is crossing through the hallway, because he can tell that something is happening. Whenever he gets to the branching off hallway where all of the drama is happening, he looks down the hallway, and dark as it is, he can't really see what's going on. So he shouts, "What's there?"
Mr. Keen! Watch out, there's a dog!
All right, now it is that very dog's turn. The dog is going to make an attack.
Okay.
And the dog does have advantage.
No problem.
Because...
all part of the plan. All part of the plan.
Yeah, it's fine. I've got it right where I want it.
because you are on the ground right now trying to tackle this dog. Ooh, okay. It is going to successfully make an attack.
Go ahead and erase the health I have.
It's just lines on paper.
It don't mean nothing. It's just a number, baby.
So that was max damage.
Okay.
So that'll be 6 damage.
No problem.
All right.
Let me do some math.
You are down on the ground.
Let me push
Just a number.
Let me push some numbers around real quick.
What that looks like is you are down on your knees grabbing this invisible beast, and from where you are, it whips around and you feel teeth sink into your shoulder.
Okay, well, he cries out and he's like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
All right, it's your turn.
Okay, while he's being attacked and bitten, can he reach into his breast pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then he's gonna pull out his feather and toss it on the ground.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah, very good.
That works, right? Because the way you're smiling making me nervous.
Roll me as if you did max damage, please. So that's going to be 2d8 plus your attack.
Nice.
So that is 12 total.
That's amazing.
Yeah?
That was just what you needed.
Wow.
So
Perfectly executed. No notes.
Got it. All a part of the plan. Everybody has faith in me now. I'm so liked and loved.
I'm the best boy.
So, you throw this angel's feather on the ground, and the first thing that happens is that within the radius of this feather, you can finally see this dog. It has the golden collar and the sapphire eyes, and you can see that you have pulled back enough of the skin on its haunch that you can see some of the metal wiring on the inside that was keeping this dog supported. And as you throw the feather down, the first thing that dissolves is the collar around its neck, and then the fur and the skin start to sizzle and deteriorate, and until all that's left is the metal frame within, and the wires whip around. Give me a d20 roll, please.
You kidding? 11?
Take just one single damage as the wiring from the internal skeleton of this taxidermy dog flicks across your face, but then it crumbles within the circle. And for a brief second, you think you hear the noise of a happy dog leaping away, barking into the distance, running free into the wild.
Hell yeah.
And this dog has been defeated.
All right. I think he just goes like, ha 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 ha. He's just on the ground like that.
Like that.
Now that combat is over, everyone's fright meter has been restored. Liam immediately, we're out of combat now, so anybody can move at any point they want. Liam is closest to you. He immediately falls down on the ground next to you and is desperately pressing up against your shoulder.
Adrian's gonna grab his leg and press his leg. I did it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Daniel comes over. He runs over and looks him up and down.
I expect much better words of praise than that, Daniel.
I have a full revival on my ring. I just...
Don't use it yet.
All right.
I'm fine.
Daniel, use it.
No, absolutely not. We don't know what's going to happen after this. There's more dogs.
Can you stand? He gives you a hand to help you up.
In Holy Chaos, Zachary has stepped out of the room and is trying to listen very hard for the sounds of any other dogs coming their way.
Adrian will try to take Daniel's hands. It depends if Liam will let him stand up.
Liam will try to help him up.
Okay, Liam, no, you get up too. You're injured as well, and on a leg. That's really important for standing.
I guess they both help Adrian up.
I'm helping all of you.
No, you're not. You're bleeding everywhere.
It's localized.
It's localized.
Mr. Keen also comes up and checks to see that we're all helping each other, and then he walks past us to go help Miss Audley up from the ground as well.
Yeah, Zachary has also gone over to the elderly woman and is helping her up. What on earth are you doing outside your room?
What happened? What was that? She looks at the smoldering, sizzling corpse of the taxidermy dog. I need a smoke. Oh, and she starts kind of tapping her chest a little bit. I dropped my pipe. Can someone find my pipe?
We'd better smoke in here. There's no way any of us can leave.
Zachary looks around for the pipe for a moment.
Roll me wisdom.
That's a 6.
Okay, nope. You have no idea where it is. It is really dark in here still. There's slightly more light since Mr. Keen opened his door, but that's all at the north end of the hallway. What I can say, Daniel, I'm going to use your last witness to say that you do see the pipe and that it rolled fairly close to Adrian, in fact, where he was scuffling with the dog, but not close enough to be dispelled by the angel feather. The ghost of this man smoldering within the dying embers of the pipe is speaking the word arsenic again, and quickly, just as it did with the suit of armor up on the 3rd floor.
I think you would approach it and pick it up.
The ghost sort of drifts closer towards Adrian, and it gets a little bit too close to where the angel feather is, and the smoke recoils just a touch whenever it hits that sort of invisible barrier.
Where's Audley?
Towards the south end of the hallway, towards Emily's room, if you will. And so rather than drifting back towards Ms. Audley, it's drifting towards Adrian and saying arsenic.
Weird.
He picks it up and, looks at where the ghost is going. He doesn't know what to do with this information. It's here, he says to Audley.
Oh, thank goodness. And she kind of shakily walks over to take her pipe back. Daniel, can you give me a d20 roll and add your wisdom?
13.
You notice that Adrian still looks really unwell. I don't know if you were awake. Can someone remind me if Daniel was awake whenever Adrian tried to contact Tabitha?
No, he was asleep.
He was asleep. Okay. Then you notice for the first time that Adrian has sort of a tint in his eyes, which is just barely visible because it's so dark. And that's the only thing that you notice.
Hang on. He goes to him. Give me a light. Someone get me a light.
Liam holds up his spiritual glowing sword so that you can see a little bit better.
What color is it?
I would say it's exactly the shade of bright day blue that interrupts your sleep cycle if you look at it for too long. Like a bright sunny day.
No, not that. Something at white light. I need to...
Why?
Adrian,
Yes? Come to congratulate me?
I can't tell if your eyes are green or not. Are
they
his
are.
eyes green?
Yes, they are. It was another foolproof plan I was trying to enact earlier.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Everybody needs to get inside a room, please, says Zachary, interrupting them.
Dorothea is still standing. She's moved back to look at the footprints. Is everybody going to be going towards Miss Audley's room or back towards the honey room?
Daniel's probably going to the honey room.
Yeah, that's where Adrian would go.
Miss Audley follows you.
Okay.
She's just sort of following the pack at this point. She is not about to split off and be alone after what she's just seen. So she's following and is trying very hard to basically rifle through the pocket of her dressing gown, trying to find a light. And her hands are shaking. For all of her cavalier attitude earlier in the evening, this is definitely not something that she is used to seeing.
Zachary goes over to Dorothea and is also looking at the footprints and he goes, "What do you think?"
Oh, well... They definitely weren't here earlier, and they're a little bit smaller, I suppose, but not as small as a child's footprints or something like that, or like one of my footprints. And they're heading back towards that wing of the house. They're coming from downstairs, and they seem to be going at an even pace as well. They're not running, it's just a walking pace.
Shouldn't we get inside? The dogs are alive, aren't they?
I think they're all on separate floors.
I think Adrian's right. I think we need to follow these footprints.
Zachary, are you all right?
You standing about in the hallway, it's making me anxious.
Right.
I'm with Daniel on this one. I think we need to take a moment to look after Adrian.
We should look after you as well, and Zachary is bleeding too, so stop making it about me.
Come on, Dorothy. Turns and goes back to the honey room.
All right, Mr. Keene follows you.
Mr. Keene, how are you?
A sight better than you are, it seems.
Sure.
What did you do?
I tackled a dog.
No, afterwards. What was that?
A feather, a magical feather, an angelic feather.
He...
Just take your notes.
I think he barks out a laugh at that one, and he does actually pull the notes out of his pocket. An angelic feather. Mr. Edwards, I'm not letting you out of my sight after this. You have a lot of talking to do.
Adrian's lightheaded, and he's like, oh, really?
Daniel's opening drawers and looking for medical supplies of some sort.
We can use whatever fabric.
And what? What alcohol?
I didn't bring any this time.
You're bleeding.
There was
A few of us are bleeding.
There was alcohol down in the dining room.
We can't go down there.
Fat lot of luck that does us now. He, rips some fabric off of curtains.
Miss Otley, do you have a drink on you?
What? No, not a drink on me, sorry.
Damn.
No, I believe Miss Chumley was the one who had managed to sneak some spirits into her room.
She on this floor?
Next one up, I think.
Damn it.
Miss Audley is trying to calm herself down. She's found one of the ottomans here in the room and is just sitting down here and takes a big, deep drag on her pipe.
I don't know who would see this, but is the ghost still trying to go in a certain way?
That depends on who wants to look at it.
Well, it would have to be Daniel if he's paying any more attention to that.
Daniel's not. He's grabbing fabric, and then he goes over to Adrian and he starts patching him up. But
Give me the fabric. I will pat people. I'm the doctor.
Well, you can't.
Look at me.
What?
He looks in his eyes, and a look of dread comes over his face. They are green.
Yes.
What did you do?
I was attempting to communicate with Miss Blythe.
And she got you.
Yes.
You idiot. And he starts tying your cloth.
Punches you in the tummy. Lightly.
Liam is also by Adrian at this point as well, trying to... he holds out his hand and he says, Hold my hand while...
No.
Adrian.
I will not. What about
Please.
your leg? What about Zachary's arm?
Just hold my hand while Daniel's tying you up.
Will this
and
make
then
you feel better?
I won't let you touch my leg unless you do.
Who's being unreasonable now?
I've
been the most responsible.
Liam holds out his hands.
There's a very long pause, and then he takes it, but it's very begrudging.
Okay.
And not tender.
He finishes tying up Adrian, and then he grabs some more cloth and starts tying
Give
up.
it to me. Give it to me. I'm the doctor.
He shoves it in Adrian's stomach oof. And then goes to tie up Zachary.
Daniel, please roll me for our medicine roll here. Please roll me a d20.
14. Do I add anything? Probably not. I'm not proficient in medicine.
So you're not adding anything from your own basic stats. You get to do 1d4 plus... I'm going to give you +1 since you are using some of the fabrics here in the room to help staunch the bleeding.
That's a 3.
Hey.
+1, so that's 4.
Nice.
Excellent.
I helped Adrian for 4. Am I helping Zach for 4 as well?
Oh, Zach's not in the room.
Or do I do it? Where are you? Where are you? What are you talking about? He's not in the room. What do you mean? What do you mean? Where is he?
You twat.
Okay, then he turns around to take care of Zachary and then looks. Bing, bing, bing. His missing lines.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Zach? Has anyone seen Zach?
Paint us a picture, Eli. Dorothea was there. Zach was saying, all right, we've seen the footprints. Let's get back to the room.
As everybody's piling back in and worrying about Adrian, he says, hold on just a moment, to her.
Yes?
Those footprints, we're going to eventually need to follow them, but we are already in pretty bad shape just from one dog. I'm going to scout ahead and stay in the shadows and see if there are other dogs about.
But, well, why don't you come in and we can patch you up as well?
There isn't going to be much time. Everything is happening very quickly and I've released something. And I don't know how much time that gives us.
Okay, smash cut back to the room. Dorothea pipes up. He left to go scout ahead. Sorry, I was trying to find a moment to say it, but everyone was...
How long ago was this?
Just a few minutes.
A few minutes? How many?
As long as it took you to patch up Adrian, so I would say 3 minutes.
5 with his obstinance.
It's not my fucking obstinance.
He opens the door and peeks out, but, it's not very bright out. Probably followed the damn footprints.
That's what he said.
I mean, Zachary's just popping up in the shadows to look around and then dip back in.
Okay. Then I'm gonna follow Zachary. Zachary, how do you travel by shadow?
He kind of pops out every now and then to follow the footprints, make sure that they're still around. He uses his cantrip to light up and see if he's still following them.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you following the footsteps from the direction whence they came, or in the direction that they are going towards?
Direction that they are going towards.
Okay. You don't have to go very far at all. You are traveling purely on this floor. It's still the first floor. You duck through the shadows a few times. It takes you past Bentley Keene's room, and it is the next room immediately past Mr. Keene's room where the footsteps go under the doorway. Are you going to follow them under?
He does follow it. He goes under, and he's seeing if he can hear anything from the shadows.
As you go into the room, but still staying within the shadows, you cannot hear anything. This sort of distorted vision that you can get of the room from within the shadows, as if you're underwater, it looks fairly much like the rest of the rooms that you have been in, that you've visited, that you're staying in. Just looks like one of the bedrooms. You can tell that there is a figure in this room, and it's a white figure.
A white figure.
Mm-hmm. But you can't really tell any details.
That's bad. He climbs out of the shadows and looks.
So in this room, you find the 4-poster bed. There are 2 windows on the east wall. The colors are sort of hard to tell in this very dim light because there are no lanterns in here. There's a rug on the floor. There is a small desk with an upholstered stool in front of it, a chaise lounge, a wardrobe, a floor-length mirror. There's a vase with poppies in it, a table with a wash basin, and along the walls in the dimness you can see that there are preserved butterflies in glass frames on the walls, as well as a butterfly net.
My brother in Christ, who is in the bed.
It's called building the tension.
I'm tense. I'm ready.
There are preserved butterflies in glass frames on the wall, as well as a butterfly net mounted with an ivory handle, and in the bed, sitting upright, gazing towards you but not really registering you, is Rosamond. Her entire dress has been bleached white. You can tell that there's a stain growing from where she sits in her bed, and water drips from her hair as she looks up at you.
Liked what you heard? Let us know by using hashtag #DandiesEndanger over on our Twitter, Insta, Tumblr, and TikTok in the listed links below. We'd love to hear any and all comments, questions, and theories as to where the story might be headed. Want to support us and our lads' adventures more directly? Then please consider clicking on the link and becoming a patron today. For just $1, you can gain access to our longer, uncensored outtakes and blooper reels. For $5, you can have access to exclusive stickers, in-world letters written by and for the lads, poetry by Adrian and Daniel, and original music from the show composed and scored by Chess Albanese. Can't afford to support directly? No problem. Podcasts survive by word of mouth, so if you like what you heard, tell your friends, family, and local graveyard ghosts all about these exciting tales. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Dandies in Danger is written and voiced by Elijah Bergateris as Zachary Wilkos, Cass as Liam Bardsley, Chess Albanese as Daniel Pritchard, and Toast as Adrian Edwards. It is edited by Toast. Original score and music composed by Chess Albanese. It is produced by Dandies team, and made possible by listeners like you.